The next one is The Foreigner, another great one with Jackie Chan, Pierce Brosnan, Kitty Leung. And you are the dialogue coach. Also, you got the UK stunts, Mathis Landwehr, Timur, Brahim Chad, Max Wang from the Mortal Kombat films, and Yen Xiaobli. So how amazing was James Bond in the flesh, Pierce Brosnan, and with actress Kitty Leung, known to have played Cho Chang in the Harry Potter films?
I loved talking to her. She's really sweet, very friendly. She did share with us how Harry Potter fans hated her and that was hard for her to deal with, that people were sending her death threats and crazy
Oh,
negative,
wow. Really?
insults. But she's very sweet, very professional. When she's not acting, she's very friendly and talkative to everyone. And the minute she's in character, she is very focused. It was such a joy to work with the director, Martin Campbell, because he's directed 2 Bond films, one with Pierce Brosnan and one with Daniel Craig. Very professional, very focused. He is on the set before anybody else arrives, and then he's the last person off the set. He works tirelessly. He's completely focused, and he wants rehearsals before each scene that we shoot. So we had the privilege of having closed set rehearsals so that Jackie would be ready and Pierce would be ready. Pierce is really lovely, really focused, and when he was not acting in the scene, he would stay in character. And I remember when he came on the set, I didn't know it, but I heard screaming and yelling and profanities, and I'm like, who's acting like this?
Mhm.
Who's behaving like this on a film set? It was Pierce, because he was trying to get in character. So he
Mhm.
was muttering and screaming and yelling, but it worked, because by the time he opens his mouth, he isn't completely in character, and there's a lot of emotion from him already.
Wow.
Yeah, but really, I was surprised because he's a very experienced actor, and so often with very experienced actors, you don't feel they need to do that, because the minute they open their mouth, they're in character. But
Mhm.
every actor works differently, and so that helps him. But really nice person. His mother came to visit our set, and she was really friendly. And he gave Jackie a gift. He is a painter, and so he gave Jackie a painting that he did.
It's really cool. Let's talk about the stunt team. In the credits, it's saying the UK stunts. And in this photo that I have, which you are included in, I recognize some of these folks. 2 of them are part of the Jackie Chan stunt team, Timur Mamisavili and Panda Plan, and Max Wang from the new Mortal Kombat films as 𝗥𝗘𝗟𝗣𝗦. The other 2 are Mathis Landwehr from the film The Last Kumite and Brahim Chad from Boyka Undisputed. How wonderful was it to have worked with these talented individuals?
This was the first time I've seen such a diverse group of people. I mean, a lot of people in the stunt team spoke multiple languages.
Wow.
There was French, there was Vietnamese, there was German. It was wonderful to see the diversity in the JC stunt team, but everyone brings something different to a fight scene with their individual background. So it all comes to play when the team works together.
Wow, cool. You indicated meeting an amazing actor, stuntman, and martial artist mastering the capoeira on a high note, Lateef dos Santos. How terrific was it?
Yeah, so I actually met him when we were in England because he's part of Brad Allen's stunt team. He was
Oh,
working on Kingsman, yes. So
oh
he's part of
wow.
Brad's team, and that's how we met.
Oh
Great guy.
wow.
I still am in touch with him. And Brad, like Jackie, brings together martial artists with different abilities. So when they do fight scenes, they're able to make the fight look incredible.
Wow. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you for sharing. The next one is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, the first Marvel superhero feature film with Asian representation. It also acknowledged the hard work that Brad Allen has put in as the second unit director and the stunt coordinator, designing the stunts and fight sequence. Unfortunately, he passed away a week before it got released, and the participation of the fight coordinators, Andy Chang and Zhang Peng, overall, they did a tremendous job. You stated that you did not work on this film, but you did convince Wang, the main bully from The Karate Kid, who portrayed Chang, to join the stunt team, where he ended up being the main double for Simu, who plays the main character Shang-Chi, and helped creating one of the most thrilling fight scenes on the minibus. Was it Brad Allen, Andy Chang, or any members of the JC stunt team that reached out to you so you could pass on the information to Wang?
So I didn't know this, but Andy was already trying to bring in Zach. But Zach had turned it down because he didn't realize how big this film was going to be. And
Okay.
by a strange coincidence, I was also in touch with Zach, and I was trying to find him opportunities in the US. A friend mentioned to me that Brad was going to be working on Shang-Chi. So I thought, oh my gosh, if Brad is working on this, then for sure Zach should get in on this because Zach worked with Jackie, Brad worked with Jackie. I'm sure Brad would want Zach. But then when I found out that Zach turned it down, I tried to convince him to get back in. I said, because this is a great opportunity. But he wanted to stay away from stunt work and start going towards acting opportunities. He was thinking about going to acting school. He wanted to leave stunts behind. And I don't blame him, because stunt work, you could get hurt, right? And he had this passion for acting. But I kept telling him, I said, film is going to be huge. You don't realize how big it's going to be. And then suddenly he reached out to me and said, okay, I changed my mind. I want to work on this film. So I went back to my friends and I told them he wants to work on this film again. But Brad's very strict. If you turn him down once, he may not give you another chance.
Oh,
So
okay.
that was the impression I got, that he had a chance to do this and he had turned him down. So he may not be invited back. So I was really disappointed. I knew that Brad was going to think about it, but I let it go. I said, what could I do, right? And then months later, Zach sends me a video of him arriving in Australia to a hotel room because he got the job.
Oh, that's great. Thank God for a second chance. Thank God.
Yep.
The next one is Karate Kid Legends, featuring the return of Jackie Chan as Mr. Han, Ralph Macchio as Daniel LaRusso and the skillful and newcomer martial artist Ben Wang as Li Feng, alongside Ming-Na Wen, Joshua Jackson, Sadie Stanley, Aramis Knight, White Olive, Shawnette Renee Wilson, Tim Brosnan, William Zabka. You are indeed serving once again the dialogue coach for Jackie. In this feature film, Ben Wang gave his A game as the new Karate Kid, and were you also his dialogue coach?
Ben is a very skilled actor and martial artist. He went to NYU to study acting. He did not need a coach. He was always prepared, very professional. And when he was not acting, he was with the stunt team trying to learn choreography. He worked really hard. And he was very humble, and he would help drag the stunt pads. He would help the stunt team. He did not act like the leading actor at all. He acted like he was part of the stunt team. Everyone really liked him because he was just so sweet and funny and helpful.
Oh, wow. That's really cool. When I saw the premiere online for Karate Kid Legends, seeing Zach Wang all grown up, originally, was he supposed to return as Chang or make a cameo in the opening scene with Jackie? I was hoping he would.
There was never talk about him being in the film.
Oh,
But
that's too
Jackie
bad.
did.
Yeah.
I know, but Jackie did invite him to. Actually, I heard that there was talk about him being part of the stunt team. So he almost became part of the stunt team
Oh, the
because
JC, the Jackie Chan stunt team?
the Jackie Chan stunt team / Peng Zhang's stunt team. Because Peng Zhang worked with Jackie on Rush Hour 3. He was part of Jackie's stunt team then. And he's also part of the stunt team for Shang-Chi. Peng Zhang had his own stunt performers he worked closely with from Shang-Chi. And he brought in that team. And he was going to bring in Zach, but it didn't work out. So later on, Jackie brought Zach back to be his guest and bodyguard when he was doing promos for the film in New York.
Overall, the film was still great. I mean, I enjoyed it. I hope we get a sequel.
It was nice to see Ralph work with Jackie. They're very different people, different personalities, but I thought they had some really funny scenes.
How magnificent was it to have worked with two original actors from the Karate Kid and Cobra Kai series, Ralph Macchio and William Zabka?
Ralph is a little bit quiet. He's not a very loud or gregarious person like Jackie is. Jackie is like a force of nature. He comes on a set and everybody knows he's there. He talks to everybody. He has a loud voice. He has a strong, loud presence. Ralph is very quiet. He's almost introverted. He's very passionate about his character and very passionate about the story. And so he really cared when there were certain scenes that didn't feel right. He really wanted to tweak it and make sure that he was being true to his character. So it was nice to see him, be so committed to his role. A really nice person, very genuine. He doesn't feel like a typical Hollywood actor. He's very low key. When he walks into the room, you don't even know that he's there. because he doesn't make a lot of noise, you know. But once he is acting, you know, he's completely present. He really made the effort to learn some of the choreography. And he says that he wished he has spent more of his life dedicated to martial arts, but he pretty much has learned it just for the film.
I think that he got motivated once he went back with the role on Cobra Kai, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah, it was funny. You would think that somebody who became so famous because of a martial arts film
Mhm.
would spend time learning the martial arts, but you know, he's an actor and he's a singer and he's a dancer. He's many things, but martial arts is not really his thing. So he
Mhm.
really had to learn it for his role.
At least he enjoyed it.
I think so. He definitely respects what martial arts has given him and what it's done to his career.
Mhm. Yeah.
Billy Zabka, he came for just one day, and he likes to improvise, I guess. And so when he was shooting his scene, I didn't see it, but I heard it. I heard a lot of laughter because he was just coming up with all kinds of crazy things to say. And yeah, really nice person. And of course, everybody, you know, wanted to talk to him and see him and take his picture. And he was very kind. He and Ralph as well were very accommodating. There are so many people who are fans of the original Karate Kid. So when they were on the set, everybody wanted to talk to them, and they're both very kind to do that. Spend time talking to cast and crew.
All right. I came upon a photo of you and Jackie with another unexpected guest who came to visit you guys on the set, Marvel Shang-Chi himself, Simu. Was this your first time meeting him?
Yes. So when he first moved from Canada to LA, we have mutual friends who tried to connect us, and he wanted me to help Simu with his career. This happens all the time. I get a lot of introductions, people trying to get connections. But before I even had a chance to help Simu, he made it big on his own. And so we've stayed in touch, not much, but a little bit. And so, like when he was working on Shang-Chi, I told him that his stunt double was going to be, you know, an actor I work with. I told him that many members of the stunt team are all from Jackie's stunt team. Yeah, it was a nice surprise to see him. He came to visit us because he worked closely with Peng Zhang, who worked on the stunt team for Shang-Chi. And so, yeah, he came to dinner because Jackie often has dinner parties. And so he came to dinner with us, and he was very humble and very friendly and funny, and was nice to everybody.
Wow. And all moment after 32 years, you are reunited with your co-star from the Joy Luck Club, Ming-Na Wen. How special that was.
It was really special because she and I stayed at the same hotel, so we often would be in the same vehicles to go back and forth. And Jackie threw lots of dinner parties, and she often would come to the dinner parties too. Just really lovely, funny person, very warm, very genuine, very kind to everyone. I told her about what happened to me at Joy Luck Club, and she was
Oh,
very sympathetic. You know, her husband is also an actor, and I actually have auditioned with him, and she said the same thing has happened to him. You know, this is just one of those things that happens to actors. Sometimes things don't work out. You know, sometimes you get that great role, and other times you get that great role, and then it's taken away from you. But she was very sweet, very friendly, and I really enjoyed talking to her, and we're still in touch.
wow, that's really cool. Thank you so much. 7 months ago, on June 23rd, Operation Condor was released for the first time in a 4K Blu-ray format, and it contains an 80 pages limited edition booklet with never before seen pictures on and off set of your many adventures with Big Brother Jackie. You are being interviewed by Thorsten Boos, a writer, podcaster, and fan of Jackie Chan. How does it feel to know all of your accomplishments are being published, making history in one of Jackie's earliest classic 90s golden era of Hong Kong cinema?
It was a real honor. I thought it would just be a very short interview. I would just answer a few questions, but he had so many questions for me. And of course, I had to do my share and give him, you know, as many answers as I could. And he wanted a lot of pictures, and I was able to share many things from pictures from many different projects I've worked with Jackie on. And so I was surprised. I thought he would use some of it. I didn't think he would use like most of it, but that's what he did. He used almost everything I gave him. Every answer I gave him, he put into the book. So it was quite an honor.
Among all the Jackie Chan movies that you've been part of from the very beginning till now, you told me that a lot of famous celebrities will come on set to visit. Can you name a few, please?
So many. So from Rush Hour, Elvis Presley's wife, Priscilla Presley, she came to visit us. And so it was such a shock to see her. Marlon Jackson from the Jackson family
Wow.
um, came to visit us on Rush Hour 2. Who else? I saw singers Lionel Richie. He came to visit us on one of the films. Who else? Yeah, it's not uncommon for actors to come visit us because actors, directors, because they want to work with some of our actors. Like Rob Minkoff, the director of Lion King. He came to visit us on Rush Hour 3 because he was going to collaborate with Jackie on The Forbidden Kingdom. And Jackie had to audition with and read with 3 potential actors for that film. So I prepped him so that he could improvise and read scenes with 3 potential actors for the lead.
Oh, wow. Pretty cool. Do you have any advice or wisdom you would love to share for those who want to pursue a career in coaching?
Well, if you want to be a coach, if you want to be a dialogue coach, the first thing is you have to be, I think, an actor. You have to be able to be an actor. You have to know the command of the language. You have to know the emotional range of the role so that when you prepare the actors, you can be there for them. Especially for Jackie, who doesn't understand the language. You have to be so ready to give him that line, and you need to show him how to deliver it with the right emotion. And you have to be really familiar with the script. You have to know every day what scenes you're shooting, and you have to know where he should be emotionally for that scene. And you should know what had happened in that scene before and afterwards, because that's going to affect how he performs. You have to be really patient because the person you're working with may not enjoy the process. You have to know the background of the person so that you know how to deal with them. Like, as I work with Jackie, I realized that it's going to be really hard to work with this man if I didn't know him, if I didn't know his background. So I bought like 17 books on him and try to understand who is this man I'm working with. And doing that research helped me better understand who he is as a person and then how to work with him. And use different techniques. Like Jackie is a very visual person, and so he liked to draw. And so sometimes on his lines that I write on his, pieces of paper, I might draw little faces to entertain him. If there's some action scene in that while he's delivering the lines, I might even draw him doing some action. Sometimes I have little happy faces or sad faces next to those lines to remind him where he should be emotionally. And then I highlight the important words that he needs to know how to pronounce. And then, the words sometimes have different, multiple syllables. So I'll have to break down the syllables and remind him that that word has 3 syllables or that word has 5 syllables. But yeah, what I've learned from working with Jackie is I just have to do my research. If he has to learn to speak some French, I have to learn to speak French. If he has to learn how to sing a song, which he has sang many films, they've required him to sing a little bit of a song. I need to learn how to sing it too, so I could teach him. I try to be very mindful of his emotional state. So every day, he may not be happy. He may have a bad day. And so I have to be respectful of that and try to give him space when he needs it. And when he doesn't need the space, then I give him more attention. I have learned how to be a coach to him by trial and error, see what works, what doesn't work. And I try to entertain him. I try to tell him stories about people on the set. I don't know if you know this, but for many years, I wrote his blog.
Oh, no, I didn't know that. Sorry.
So when we were working on Shanghai Noon, the publicist said that the fans might enjoy hearing how Jackie is enjoying his experience working in Calgary, and that every day he and Owen should keep a blog of what they're eating, what they're doing, what they're seeing, how they're feeling. And Owen said, "Oh no, I'm not doing that." But Jackie really liked the idea. So then I started working with him on his blog. So every single day I documented what he was doing. And he enjoyed the experience so much, he wanted to do it on every single film.
Wow.
So if you go back to his website, I think it might be there.
Okay.
You can find the different years that we worked on his blog. It started on Shanghai Noon, and the last blog I worked with him on was Rush Hour 3. And then after that, he didn't want to do it anymore. As I did these blogs on each film, I got to know him better. And sometimes he was too honest. Sometimes he said things he probably shouldn't say. And I would be like, "Do you really want to say that about the director? It makes him look bad." He goes, "Well, it's the truth," And then I'll put it in. And then when he got in trouble for it, I would take the blame. "Oh, no, it's me. It was my idea." But it was very therapeutic. He really had a chance to share his thoughts and his feelings. And because we sometimes ran out of things to talk about, I would then interview different crew members and then put that into his blog. So then we got to know more of the crew members. Like, oh, that crew member, he also belongs to a band. Here's a little clip of his music, things like that. But yeah, it's been an interesting experience working for Jackie, and I never thought after Rush Hour I would ever see him again. So it is funny that I ended up working with him for almost 28 years on 16, 17 films and projects.
Do you have any more projects in the future that you're currently working on? Is there any projects
I
for
actually
you?
did do a project with Jackie last year, but I can't talk about it because it's
Oh,
not
wow.
public information
No,
yet.
no, no problem.
So when it comes out, I'll tell you about it. It comes out next year.
Oh, wow. Well, congratulations. I'm
Thank
looking
you.
forward to it. So, Diana, listen, I just want to say thank you very much for coming on my podcast. You're the first one that I got to interview for someone who's not in the action per se, just a dialogue coach, but you're part of the Jackie Chan world of films. I do hope that I get to meet you in person one day.
Thank you so much. You never know. We might shoot a Shanghai Dawn there, or maybe we'll do another Karate Kid or
Yeah.
Tuxedo too.
Yeah, I do hope I get to meet him one day. I just want to say, keep doing what you're doing. You're a huge inspiration to the world of martial arts, and thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate your time, and I really appreciate this honor and to be able to share my experiences. And thanks to Jackie, I've had a career as a dialogue coach.
Wow. Thank you very much, and take
Thank you. Best
care.
wishes to you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Bye. Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.